Oops, I kind of got interrupted there. Eunhye thought for a moment. Well, I can show you, she said, and took out the small red pouch. She pressed the wooden block onto the ink pad and then stamped it onto a piece of paper. This is my name stamp, she said. My grandma gave it to me. In Korea, I can use it as a signature when I open a bank account or write a letter. And whenever I miss my grandma, I use it to fill a piece of paper. Do you want to try it? She offered the stamp to Joey, and he carefully inked the stamp and pressed it hard onto the paper. The red characters gleamed against the whiteness. Wow, that's beautiful, Joey said. Can I keep the paper? Sure, Eunhye said. And then the two of them shared her umbrella as they walked to the school bus. Every day, the jar got fuller with more names, and Eunhye read them all. She found a few names she liked. Miranda, Stella, Avery. They sounded so interesting. I hope you choose the name I put in, Marco told her at snack time. I've put in like 3 more, said Ralph. Madison, Park, and Lex. Those are my favorite street names. Maybe you should just close your eyes and draw a name, Rosie suggested. Ralph frowned. Well, that's silly. What if she doesn't like the name she draws? Well, we didn't get to choose our names when we were born, did we? Rosie argued. Everyone thought about that. When Eunhye got home from school that day, her little brother ran to give her a letter. It was from Grandma. To my Eunhye, I hope you are enjoying your new school and your new friends. Be sure to help your mother and little brother. Here the moon is up, but there the sun is up. No matter how far apart we are, and no matter how different America is from Korea, you'll always be my Eunhye. Your grandma forever. Eunhye took out her wooden stamp and filled a paper with it. She thought for a long time in front of the bathroom mirror. On Saturday, Eunhye walked to Mr. Kim's store. Mr. Kim was helping a customer, but he looked up and greeted her. Hi, Eunhye. Hello, Mr. Kim, Eunhye replied. She felt as if she was back in her old neighborhood in Korea. Hey, said the customer, turning around. It was Joey. Your name is Eunhye? He asked, with his eyes open wide. Eunhye looked quickly at Mr. Kim and then turned to Joey. She nodded slowly. Yes, it's pronounced Eunhye. And it means grace, said Mr. Kim. Eunhye, Joey said slowly, and this time perfectly. It made Eunhye smile. I'll have it ready for you by tomorrow, said Mr. Kim to Joey. Thank you, Mr. Kim. See you Monday, Eunhye, and Joey said to her before he left. He left before she could ask him why he was at the store. On Monday, Eunhye came to class early and to look at the names one last time. But the jar wasn't on her desk. Instead, there was just one single piece of paper, a paper with a name on it. Eunhye slipped it into her pocket. Where's your name jar? Ralph asked as soon as he saw it gone. I don't know, Eunhye said. It wasn't on Mr. Mikakuto's desk or on any other desk, and it wasn't on any of the counters or shelves. As other kids arrived, they helped look. Soon, Mr. Kakos came in and shouted, and Ralph shouted at him, Mr. Kakatos, the name jar is gone. The jar with all the names in it. Gone? Mr. Kaktos replied. With a look of concern, he asked Eunhye, Did you get a chance to read all of the names? Eunhye nodded, and she took a breath and said, I'm ready to introduce myself. Eunhye wrote her name in both English and Korean on the chalkboard. I liked the beautiful and funny names that you thought for me, she told the class, but I realized that I liked my name best, so I chose it again. Korean names mean something, and Eunhye means grace. Grace! Grace! Eunhye! Shouted Ralph. Everyone tried to say it, Inhai, and hey. Eunhei said her name again slowly and clearly, and soon the kids began to say it better. Even Mr. Cockatoos. They applauded Eunhei's choice. I was named after a flower, Rosie whispered to Eunhei. Lots of American names have meanings too, Mr. Cockatoos reminded everyone. When the class was dismissed, Eunhei heard her new friends say goodbye. Bye, Eunhei. See you tomorrow. Goodbye, Eunhei. Eunhei said goodbye and then looked around for Joey, but he was already gone. Eunhei, come downstairs, Mother called up at Eunhei. Your friend is here. Eunhei rushed down to see who she meant, and there she saw Joey, his arms with the name jar. Where did you find it? Said Eunhei breathlessly. Joey looked embarrassed. Well, I took it for you, but only because I wanted you to keep your own name, and you did. He reached in and he pulled out the other names. Do you want to keep them? He asked. Thank you. I'll keep them as a souvenir, Eunhei said happily. And then she pulled the piece of paper from her pocket. Do you want this back? Joey grinned. You can keep it. I'll return the name jar to the class, and maybe you could put some Korean nicknames in it for us. Names with good meanings. I could do that, Eunhei agreed. I've already got a Korean nickname, Joey said. Mr. Kim helped me choose it. Carefully, he pulled out a small sliver of pouch from his pocket, and then he took out a dark wooden stamp with the beautiful Korean characters carved sharply into it. He pressed it onto the ink pad, and then the piece of paper next to her name. Shinku, read Eunhei. That means friend. And Shinku smiled back. I hope you enjoyed the name jar.